Hello there. I want to show you guys GrokClok. GrokClok is a fun little project that I built with Grok AI. Grok AI has done all the coding, which we'll talk about some more in a moment. I did all the building and I also did all the design. This is based on a Raspberry Pi Pico W board, which is in here. We're also, after we do the quick demo of how it works, we're also going to open this up and I'll show you the guts of it. And like I said, we'll take a quick look at the code too. But first of all, let's go ahead and plug this thing in. And whenever I apply power, it's going to automatically start up and it's going to make a Wi-Fi connection. It's going to sync to the Google Time server. It's going to check its network connection. It's going to get all set up and it's going to be very verbose about it on the screens. So this is going to be a very accurate clock because it has 3 time sources. It has the internal clock of the Pico W. We also have a real-time clock installed inside the box. And we are also pulling time from the Google Time server, which we will use to keep the real-time clock synced up. So yeah, let's go ahead and plug this thing in. You can see it boot up. Kind of a cool boot sequence. The top display is always going to have the current time, date, and temperature. We do have a temperature sensor connected as well. And you can see it's very verbose, connecting to Wi-Fi and the real-time clock and doing the NTP update and everything. And then now we are at the main display where we have the time at the top, we have the date, and then we have the temperature in Fahrenheit. And this is kind of the main screen right here. Believe it or not, this interface took a long time for me to design. I've never done anything quite like this before. So I got to learn a lot, even though I didn't write the code. So as you can see down at the bottom, it's going to either say alarm off if no alarm is currently set, or if an alarm is set, it will tell you the time here. It also has the network status right here. This means that the network connection to the internet is good. And then to enter the menu, you just have to hit hashtag. I tried to keep menu navigation consistent throughout all of the screens. So if we hit menu, we get into all of our options here. And the first option, and you can only go through the menu one way. At first, I designed the menu to where you could go left or right or up or down. And I decided that just wasn't necessary. So now it's just, you go all the way through the menu. If you pass your selection up, then you just have to go through it again and stop at the correct place next time. So we have a timer, which is a countdown timer. We have a stopwatch, which is exactly what it sounds like. This is the alarm set. These are stats, which we'll look at in just a little bit. This is where you can set your time zone. And then we're back at the front again. So let's go ahead and look at each one of these. And I just have to hit execute to start whatever program you're in. Now on the timer, starts off with all zeros, and then you just type in the number, and I did make it to where the numbers flash, so you could tell which digit you are actually editing. And then it starts at the beginning, so if you make a mistake, you can just type it in again without having to go back or anything like that. Or if it looks good like that, you can hit start. And one upgrade I would probably want to make later is to have a speaker that's like sits kind of on the outside of the box, because as you'll see in a minute, you can hear it, but it's pretty low. If you're just using it as like a task timer or something, which is how I would use it probably, it's fine. But if it's not going to wake anybody up, I don't think. So whenever you're done with the alarm, you just hit star to confirm, and then you're dumped back out at the main menu again. Oh, no, you're not. I'm sorry. I actually had Grok changed the code to where it dumped you here again, just in case it's a timer you want to repeat a lot. I did have Grok put the same time you set last time, and then you can just hit start again, and it'll keep doing that over and over. And then if you want to quit to the main menu, you just hit pound. So let's go to the next function, stopwatch. We'll execute that, and this is real simple. It's go, it's stop, and then you can start again and stop again, and you can clear and do it again if you like. And then once you clear, and all of these little menu selections that are available, all the navigation, it's real simple, but describing exactly how you want it to work, and then working out the bugs that happen along the way. It was challenging. Like I said, I learned a lot about making menus and navigation and stuff. So yeah, we'll go ahead and exit this. And okay, we're going to go timer, stopwatch. Okay, here's the alarm. We'll execute that. And it's currently off. If you turn it on, then if it doesn't have a time set, it goes straight into the time set function, which you can see works very similar to the timer. So it's currently 1:59. So we're going to set, I think I can make it in time. We're going to set it for 2. Yes, it is this late, 2 a.m. And then after you enter the time, you do star for AM or pound for PM. And so we'll do star for AM. And you don't have to be in the alarm function. Like, we can be in a different, I did make it like this. Like, as a matter of fact, let's say we have a timer going. Okay, I'll just go ahead and start it. Let's say we're in the, oops. Ooh, I think I think I found a bug. Okay, there's the alarm. I think I found a bug in my timer, though. That's embarrassing. Let's see, I did 0, 5. I didn't put anything else in, and I hit go. Well, now it worked. Oh, boy, one of those, huh? Okay, so let's keep moving. Stopwatch, alarm, and then stats. This is something I added mostly just for fun. Shows the IP address. That's the signal to the Wi-Fi router. I just asked Grok, like, what are some cool things? Just some numbers I can show. It doesn't really mean much. Now this is kind of meaningful because this tells you the last time. We do have it set. I had Grok write the code to where it contacts the time server once an hour, and this shows the time of the last update or the last syncing of the real-time clock with the time server. And then this is the last time the real-time clock got synced with the time server. So it's kind of the same thing, but it does verify that the real-time clock got updated too. It also verifies your network was working at that time. What else we have? That's uptime, or time since the last boot. This is the temperature min and max. It's the same here because the temperature hasn't changed. And that would be just since the clock has been running. That's the amount of RAM free. And that's the amount of room you have free on the flash drive, or that we have free on our flash drive. And I think that's the last thing. Oh, that's the OS version. And that's it. And then we're back out. And there is one more thing we can set here, and that is time zone. And the cool thing about this is, well, you see you have, it's where it says CST. You change it with the pound sign. And I'm going to just cycle back through to mine. And the cool thing is, the first time you run this, if you don't have a time zone set, it will save your time zone to the secrets.py file that will hold your Wi-Fi credentials as well. So the next time you power down and then you power back up again, your time zone is saved in the flash memory, so you don't have to enter your time zone every time. I'll show you that file in just a bit. So we'll go ahead and click set, time zone set to CST, and that's it. So I do want to go through my boot up sequence again before we leave, because I think it's so cool, and then we'll take a look under the hood. This boot up sequence is just fun. I told Grok to make it kind of like those of you that are familiar with the original Sims game, reticulating splines and things like that, that it says as it's loading the game. I wanted to make it look somewhat like that, but also actually, you know, be indicative of what's going on. I told it to be intentionally over verbose, if that makes sense. So yeah, this was it works really good. There might be a few bugs here or there. I haven't like completely tested it out. I am planning on using it, keeping it right here on my desk, because I love the way it looks. I love the way it functions, and I do actually use timers a lot. And I like knowing the temperature. So, but yeah, let's go ahead and take a look inside. All right, let's take a look inside here. And I do have to, this is just a cardboard box. Back out a little bit. This is just a cardboard box, obviously, but it worked. And I just used a box knife and cut holes out for the LCDs, and yeah, it's fine. It's sturdy. It's sturdy enough to withstand pressing against. And the main thing I wanted to do, as y'all will see once I get it opened up, that my main goal in using this box, I just didn't want it to look like a bomb anymore, because this thing certainly looks like a bomb. And yeah, I just cut holes in the cardboard up top. I made me a template about the size using a business card. I cut out a template and then used that to trace the place where I was going to cut out, and then I just used hot glue gun to attach it, and it worked really good. And one thing I could tell you, if you're going to use a hot glue gun to attach LCDs, they have holes on each one of these corners, and I found if I just like put the tip of the hot glue gun right up against that hole and then just gushed it in there really good, you can see each corner has a huge buildup of glue that goes all the way through and behind it, and they're pretty sturdy in there. Another thing I want to mention about the LCDs is, believe it or not, they are both, typically you need all of your I2C devices to have distinct addresses, but I did want to make it to where anybody else that built this could just use these at their default I2C address if they wanted to, because changing it does involve soldering, and not everybody wants to do that. So each one of these LCD displays is on its own I2C bus. There are 2 I2C buses on the Pico W, which is handy. So able to run the same address just on 2 different buses. Then we have our real-time clock here with the battery backup. And there's your piezo buzzer right here. This is a DHT11 temp sensor. And here is the star of the show, the Pico Pi W. And I just made a little hole so I could access the port there. And yeah, there's a whole bunch of wiring in there. I did have a loose wire I chased down right after I moved it to the box, and then one of the times I opened it up, one of these little wires pulled out, and it happened to be one of the I2C wires, and I chased that problem thinking it was code for about an hour. So speaking of code, let's take a quick look at the code. Didn't feel like doing a screen share, so I'll just film the screen. So this is the code right here. And it's probably a lot longer than you might expect. It is over 1,000 lines long since I've added all the documentation. Let's see. Oh no, we're over 1,100 lines long now. This is the effort of about 3 days of me working with Grok to get it just right. And if you look at the top area here. I did ask Grok to put lots of information about what exactly we use, and the pinouts and everything are right here. Also, I do have the I2C addresses here. These are all considered default I2C addresses. And this is the format right here of the secrets.py file. So you'll just want to, you need this line and you need this line in a secrets.py file. You don't have to put this line in there if you don't want to. The GrokClok can add that for you later whenever you set the time zone. It will save it there for you. And then there are some just quick instructions here on how to build it. Now, as far as the libraries go, there's not, I know we have a lot of imports here, like it looks like a ton, right? But most of them are just the, they are the ones that are included with MicroPython. Let me show you what's actually on the Pico itself. Okay, so let's take a look at what's actually on the Pi. And so we have, this is our main file here. It's actually 45K, it's so long. And then we have these two files here that are the library files for the LCD display. This is the library file for the real-time clock. All those other imports you see in the code, that's part of the standard install of MicroPython. You also see the secrets.py file here. You know what? I'll go edit it real quick so I can show it to you. Okay, this is an example of what your secrets.py file look like. I changed these to where they weren't actually my network name and password. And whenever you run it, it says it right here. But whenever you run your time zone routine here to set it, it will save the time zone down here. And then subsequently on subsequent runs, it will check this file to see if the time zone is there. If it is, it will automatically set your clock to that time zone. It also automatically adjusts for daylight savings in those locales that have it. So, yeah, that's secrets.py. No, I don't want to save that. Okay. What else? Oh, Grok. So Grok drew the little thing here. Grok actually named itself. Grok wrote all the code. Grok wrote all the documentation. I did all the design. And Grok made it happen in real life. Near the end there, the code rewrites, whenever we would change anything or there was a bug to fix or anything, the complete code rewrites were taking almost 5 minutes. That's how long this code was. If I had it to do all over again, I think I would probably come up with the base menu system, the base timekeeping program, make that one file, and then have other modules for each of the menu selections here. I would just have other modules that would save that I could work on individually, making it modular so I wouldn't have to deal with 1,100 lines of code at a time in Grok. I could deal with maybe 200 lines or 300 lines of code, and then the rewrites would have been faster. Let's see, what else? Future plans for this. I do plan on using this. It's going to stay here on the desk. I like it. It's going to bring back good memories of actually making it. It was so much fun to make this thing. Like I said, just learning how to make a menu system and converse with Grok in a way to make exactly what I wanted happen in the project. I learned so much. But I think the next thing I want to do is I think I want to take this whole unit here and make it an I2C device itself that I can make other projects connect to with just 2 wires. Not necessarily to run this code, but just to have access to the keypad and the screens. And I'll probably, like I said, put a speaker on the side. I might add another thing I really need. I need a power switch. Maybe a hard reset button would be nice. But I can see myself using this for a while. It just is like easy input output. Whenever I'm building other projects, I can plug into this and kind of use it as a display type thing, and then actually make a library file just for this. That might be one of my future projects. Maybe I'll make an Arduino project that connects to this via I2C kind of thing. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed checking out the project as much as I had showing it off to you guys. And I will see y'all again very soon. Bye, y'all.